Hey Andy,
What?
what's turncoat?
Wait, what?
What's turncoat?
What's turncoat?
What is turncoat?
Oh God.
1.
Andy, what's turncoat?
We never speak of that in this house. We never speak of turncoat in this house! Turncoat was a murder mystery film that I wrote in a day. I made this film in like grade 9 or 10.
They start young.
In, I think, in like 2 or 3 weeks.
It took you 2 or 3 weeks for this shit?
Yes. Okay.
No, and is that just filming, or is that pre-production, post-production, and...
What is pre-production? I directed.
Kill it!
Edited.
You cut before she starts walking?
Did sound.
Your audio is shit.
It is. And acted in the film.
Is that you? Oh my god! You told me to stay. It's a mustache!
I played the lead. A really close friend of mine at the time, Shreyas Massey. He played Sherlock Holmes. Another friend of mine who didn't know how to act but was willing to help me with editing. Priyank, he played Dante the hacker. But Priyank wasn't like good at acting or editing, so I dropped him for editing. And then a girl I had a crush on at the time, Shreya Ghosh, she played the second lead alongside me.
Seriously? He's such a player. He uses film. He doesn't like film. He uses it to get puss.
He just does it for the...
Fuck you. So much less respect for you.
I think a lot of things made it pretty awful. I mean, apart from it being super fun, I think it was fun because it was funny shooting it. Like, it didn't feel like we were really putting in... I mean, some might say we looked like we were putting in too much effort, but I think that was a way of putting not enough effort, you know? Like, we didn't take the time to really understand the roles or, like, understand the story even. There'd be times you guys, like, just came down to my apartment and was like, let's just shoot this now. And I'd be like, oh, I just had lunch, but sure.
Talk about your crush. I want to hear all your deep, darkest feelings.
And it's not for me. This is for you guys to talk about.
He had a crush on Shreya Ghosh.
Okay, let's talk about...
He was hoping that through this film process she would realize that he's like a visionary filmmaker and that he's a great storyteller and she would fall in love with him.
I regret the whole thing. I regret making the entire film because, man, if anyone were to get... So, like, imagine that like, somewhere in the future, I've become a good filmmaker, you know, like, a possible filmmaker that whose films people look at and go, hey, look, that film was really good, you know? Mm-hmm. And if someone got their hands on Turncoat at that time, fuck, I'm dead. I've always been fighting this thing where I keep telling myself that I can't make films. You know, I've slowly started to believe that I'm unable to make good movies. And it's funny too because that started when I made Turncoat.
David, go home. It's all being too much for you.
I find it despicable that you used a film to try and get in a girl's pants, but also 50-year-old me admires that.
There are a lot of things that I wanted to tell you right now to see how you would actually think about it.
Okay.
Now, looking at it.
Okay.
So, initially, your role was going to be given to Priyanjali.
Okay.
But the only reason you were casted, and this is really difficult, was because at the time I had a huge crush on you.
What? What? I'm so confused.
So what about the last film you made then?
Arkham? was shit as well, man. I don't know what to tell you.
The bat haunted this house then, and he still haunts it now.
You're mad!
I've talked to Wyatt recently about how I was as an assistant director.
You fucking did not do your job, and that pissed me off. You, as assistant director, did nothing assistant director should do. You started directing. When you realized there was a camera
That's actually
that
kinda
wasn't
true.
being used for a shot, you're like, Brandon, come over here. I got an idea.
I feel that the fact that I took charge ruined the film. You know, the fact that I worked with the actors one-on-one and didn't work with them enough, that's what destroyed the film. Because the entire time I was like, you know what, it's fine. You know, you got to do it this way, you got to film that, you got to do this. But I think because Wyatt and I weren't on the same page on most of those things, I single-handedly ruined the film.
See, this is one of the reasons why I think that my inexperience led to sort of Arkham's downfall the way it was.
You're not the reason Arkham wasn't what we envisioned. It wasn't envisioned because we're fucking college kids and we're still learning.
I don't know what to say to this. There is nothing I can cut to or say that would justify how I feel about this. Here's the thing. I've been holding the burden of Arkham for a long time, and hearing Wyatt say that it wasn't my fault and it was everyone's fault makes it a little easier. But at the same time, it doesn't, because it tells me that I have a crutch now. I have an excuse now, you know, and that if I don't work hard on a certain film and it turns out to be bad, I can always make the excuse that I am still a college kid and I am still learning. And I don't want that. Everything I try to make with the intention of, man, this is probably going to be the next greatest thing I make. But somewhere in the process, it fails and it becomes bad. But hey, I still won't stop making, because creating and making is where I find my little peace and my happy place. And that's what I want to continue doing. I want to continue creating. I want to continue making, because stopping is just far too easy. And plus, it's more fun this way. You know, you never know how it's going to end up.